Greetings, it's 2 minutes to 7 o'clock, and today I'm gonna cover up this entire series. So today is talking the needs, right? First thing first, not all needs are created equal. That's the most important factor. Number two, needs can be wants and wants can be needs, right? So how is this? Example, or rather 3 examples, right? First, accommodation. Accommodation or a roof over your head is a need, right? You need to protect yourself from the elements. Okay, the question is how much? For me, it's $1,000 maximum. In fact, that's a bit too much as well. Some people want it smaller, and yeah, it works that way. Some people say it's $500. Well, that depends on your needs, right? Some people are willing to spend more than $1,000, and that's great because some people have different earning power, therefore different priorities, different budget, right? Same goes with food. My budget is $300 a month. Now, previously it was along the line of $150 a week. Yeah, and then in Malaysia, if I don't convert, it's about 30 ringgit a day. That's about $900 ringgit a month. So priorities, some people is higher. Okay, so that's why some needs can be want or will be a want. I want to have good food. That's a want more than a need. I want healthy food. Now, that can be a need part because you need healthy food. But if the healthy food is killing your bank account, that's a want. Same goes with house. I want a nice house. I can afford it. That could be a need. I want a nice house, but I barely can afford it. That has hit the want threshold. And thirdly, this is a bit optional because everyone has a different way of looking at things. Transportation. I have friends who swear by car because in Malaysia you can't walk. Not at all, right? Especially if you are staying in the city center. Of course, smaller towns you can walk or cycle. That's totally perfectly fine. But if you're in the capital like Kuala Lumpur, forget it. You probably will cry, and that's where you probably need to re-evaluate and take public transport. Right? So, if you have a car, some people want luxurious car, that's a want rather than a need. Because if a public transport can bring you A to B, you don't need a car. But having a car adds quality, right? Same goes with food. You can eat cheap food, microwave oven food, not good for your health. But if you add a little bit more, you get a bit more healthy food. Or cook yourself. The myth of cooking yourself is a double-edged sword because not all food that you cook yourself is good. Example, instant noodle costs 30 cents here. Not healthy. That's what people say. To me, it's still food. So, cheap food. Same goes with transportation. Cheap transportation gets you from point A to point B, and battery is running low, so I need to cover up very, very fast. Same goes with house. Alright, some people stay in the tent, super cheap. Alright. So sometimes you have to gauge where is your want and need. So how do I tackle this? Very simple. Budget. Alright, it all boils down to budget. I have a budget of $1,000 for accommodation. That is after experiencing the amount of rent I pay. And same goes with food. After experience paying food, that's why I can set $300. In fact, this year is lower than last year because I want to challenge myself. It's a choice, right? I can bump back up if I need to. Transportation, good thing, I walk to work. So that's part of my accommodation. I want to get somewhere near so I can walk. So my transportation and accommodation is basically combined. But at the same time, I get a sharing bike that cost me around $57 last year for 3 months. This year alone, it's about $79 for a whole entire year. Let's make it $100 just to make it easier. $100 for a bike sharing service. I think that's good, usable. And I bought myself a skating board so that I can learn. Alright, that's one. Also, it's a mode of transportation because last year when I first time come here, I want to get an e-scooter, like I said previously, e-scooter, e-skateboard or e-board. Alright, that makes me able to travel a bit further without complications. However, an e-board or an e-scooter costs $1,000 and above. Is it worth it? Not so sure, because I walk to work, which is great. Alright, does it justify my commute? Not really, again, because I walk to work. But if I get a scooter or e-skateboard or a monthly metro card, maybe I can stay a bit further, because if I stay away from my work, sources, or rather my research says there are cheaper alternatives. Cheaper alternative, cheaper than $1,000. Of course there is, but condition varies, right? That's another thing. So that falls under one. I want a bit more comfortable accommodation, because why not? So that's one of the deciding factor that tips the scale of want and need. Alright, very simple. So until now, I still haven't buy my e-board or e-skate or any of those fancy stuff because I walk to work, and therefore the money that I save from there, I put into accommodation. Simple as that. And last year, the reason why I dropped down the food budget a little bit, actually quite significant. Yeah, quite significant. Is I want to do snowboarding. See, snowboarding, it's a want. Can I accommodate it? Yes, but at the cost of something. Right. So to me, skateboarding, same thing. I want to pick up a new skill or alternative transportation. Same. So I have to spend a little bit. By spending that a little bit, what do I need to give up? Right. So to get skateboard, maybe I need to give up some decent food for a while, or I need to cut down my weekends outgoing stuff to spend. Actually no, I hardly spent last year, that's why I save up. Alright, I already plan to do certain stuff, therefore I save, and that's how it is. Right? Very simple. Most of the time there's a quote, if you ask a price for something means you can't afford it, which I agree very much. At the same time, some stuff, even though it's a little bit pricey, or even though you can afford it, always question the price, because here runs a very interesting thing, or rather Western discount season. It's very different from Asian discount season, because it's hard to explain, right? Asian discount and Western discount, it's a different rule, it's a different set of rules. And of course, the most important thing, currency exchange, right? If you come from a country that has low currency value and come to a bit more better stronger currency country like London, US, Singapore, things change very, very much, right? Of course, accommodation here is expensive if I convert, right? To put it this way, $1,000 can pay up my apartment plus food, that's for sure, plus, right, if I really squeeze as much, plus, right, a little bit on transportation. That means I can get a second-hand car, and that's it. Alright, that's how much the value difference between these two. Alright, $1,000 is 3,000 ringgit. Right, $1,000 here is someone's salary. unfortunately. But at the same time, if I find a cheaper place like $600 to $700 home, then things change a little. Right? Same goes with food. Until then, that's it. That's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright? To close all this, summarize all this up, do your budget, do your homework, save as much as you can. Until then, I will see you